One, two, three. This is Dr. Alex Avila, and this is Love University. We're back. I'm an author, psychologist, and speaker. Every week we talk about how to love yourself, others, and higher nature. We tackle topics on relationships, self-esteem, spirituality, finances, health, and also personal well-being. And we're doing a Invincible You series based on my new book, Invincible You, that's come out recently, on how to live your life to the fullest, how to overcome obstacles and barriers to achieve your dreams. And today's topic is a very interesting one because it's a very powerful idea and concept. And it is called Master the Art of Spontaneity, Live Free and Easy. When you hear the word spontaneity or spontaneous, you think of someone that doesn't have a routine, someone that is free-flowing, goes with the flow, maybe a little bit later, disorganized in some ways, but they like to live their life in a very free-flowing, spontaneous way. Now, there is an advantage to this. First of all, someone who's spontaneous is very authentic. They're who they really are. They're not afraid of criticism or rejection. They state their mind, they express their feelings, and they are able to be who they really are. Now, I wrote a best-selling book called Love Types, which talks about the personality types in love. And one of the distinctions is the personality dimension, structured versus spontaneous. Someone who is structured is someone who loves schedules, organization, being on time, and being neat and organized. And there's an advantage to that. People who are structured are often efficient. They do well in business and work situations. They also have a sense of security, and they're very reliable and dependable. They're the kind of people that will do what they say they will do. They're very follow-through individuals. But on the other hand, having too much structure can limit you. It can make you feel stressed that you have to do so many things, and also can stifle some of your joy and even creativity. They did a study where they asked people, if you have an opportunity, imagine that you're meeting a friend for a coffee date. Spontaneously, you just bump into them and you meet with them and have coffee, or you plan it out maybe a week in advance and you set a time. Now, a certain number of people responded that they would have more enjoyment just bumping into their friend and meeting them spontaneously. But other people who are more structured would actually enjoy the anticipation of planning it out. So both of these are positive elements. The structure is spontaneous, but the key is to do it intelligently. Now, the intelligent, spontaneous person has a paradox. They're able to let go and also be in control. So they're in control of their spontaneity. They want to be spontaneous in a growth and positive way and try new things, try a new restaurant, maybe work in a different way, a different place, meet new people. But they don't have what's called impulsivity. Impulsivity is someone who does things that have short-term gains, maybe some kind of addiction or bad habit. They feel pleasure in the beginning, but then they have destructive consequences. Too much drinking, too much eating, smoking, other activities that can hurt you, drugs, addictions. So the person who's spontaneous, however, is intelligent in that they know when to be spontaneous and when not to be. And at the same time, they're responsible and mature. They know what they need to accomplish certain things, but they have their time to be free and fun and to enjoy that flexibility. Now, spontaneous people are people that develop spontaneity, and you could be a structured person that has a spontaneous side to you at certain times. First of all, they work well under pressure. They're able to think on their feet. They can adapt to situations. Also, they're less likely to get angry or upset when things go wrong. For example, a mechanical malfunction. Your computer or car breaks down. People who are spontaneous can work with that. Or maybe there's traffic they didn't expect. Instead of being so tense about being late, I just enjoy some music or listen to my iPhone or just think and meditate and just kind of enjoy the moment. Another advantage of being spontaneous is you have authentic relationships. Instead of thinking what you're going to say to someone or calculating, you do whatever comes to your heart, to your mind, and it flows more naturally. You also have more growth opportunities. You're open to meeting new people, maybe traveling, learning a new hobby, going back to school, starting a new career or business. So the spontaneous person often has that in the back of their mind. I want to explore something new. Oftentimes, the spontaneous person can have more creativity. They're open to new solutions. They think out of the box. They think things that are different from others. Also, many times they have less worry overall, because if you plan a lot, sometimes you will worry about if the plan is going to work out well or what's going to happen that could go wrong. The spontaneous person is more focused on the moment, enjoying the present moment, and they're not as worried about the future in a certain sense. And even being spontaneous can improve your love life. Research shows that being spontaneous romantically, sending your partner flowers or even a romantic text, can improve intimacy, kissing and cuddling by 100% and sexual activity by 33%. So definitely it pays to do a little bit of romantic gestures to your partner for more intimacy. And finally, there's more joy and adventure and excitement in someone who can tap into their spontaneity, that part of them that wants to do an adventure, try something different. Now you may be thinking, today we have a lot of technology. Does technology help or hinder spontaneity? Now, in some ways it can help because we can send a text to someone, and if they're free, we can get together for a friend with a coffee or some other activity. On the other hand, in the so-called olden days when we had landlines, The phone would ring and you just pick it up, and it may be a friend you haven't talked to in a long time, or could even be a salesperson, but you didn't know who it was. So in that sense, there's a little bit less spontaneity, but it can work both ways. Now, here's the key. To live spontaneously is, first of all, you have to be open to living out of your comfort zone a little bit. Maybe you travel to work the same way, or you make love with your spouse the same way. You eat the same kind of foods, and you get into a routine. So trying something different, maybe learning a new language, traveling to a new place, learning a new hobby, talking to new people. That can be a way to be spontaneous. Maybe you want to buy a plane ticket and go somewhere, move to a new city, ask out someone you're attracted to, or say I love you to someone you love, reconnect with old friends. Or it could be something as simple as changing your hair color to something you like, or maybe wearing a different kind of colors on your clothes. Doing something you've always wanted to do. And that could be an amazing experience, to live spontaneously, to live fully with life. Now, not everyone can do this. Sometimes we get caught in ruts. And again, some people are structured personalities, and they actually like having security. They like having their schedules. But even those folks, and you may be one of those right now, a structured person, can have more fun at certain times in their life when they can be spontaneous. And if you are a naturally spontaneous person, you want to learn how to be intelligently spontaneous, how to do it in a smart way that can benefit you. So let's talk a little bit about that, how to be intelligently spontaneous, some tips and strategies you can use. First of all is awareness. Be aware of any routine that you have. Also, not just behaviors, but thoughts and feelings. Maybe you get sad about certain things, or you get angry, something irritates you. Maybe you're driving, you have road rage. Or you go to work the same way every time. You talk to the same people. You do things in a routine way. And then ask yourself, what can I do to change my routine to live the life I want? I can be more open to people's invitations, maybe instead of turning things down, or be open to opportunities. Or even people that ask me for help, I can be more open to helping them and bringing joy to them and also joy to yourself as well. Starting small. You don't have to do anything really big. Maybe you'll take a new route to work when you drive there. You can try a new restaurant. You can smile and say hello to people you don't know. This is a great way to overcome shyness. Now, I'm a shy person myself, and I wrote a book called The Gift of Shyness, how to transform your shyness into a positive thing. Shy people are often good listeners, and they're sensitive. But there's that self-critic, that self-conscious side of your personality that says, they'll think weird of me, or they won't like me. But if you can begin to do that in a small way, it could be people that serve you coffee, or a waitress, or a waiter, or someone that comes to your house for a service, and just be kind to other people. Extend loving energy. You don't even have to say anything to them, but just mentally experience that flow of energy. Imagine that you're spreading some positive mindset to them. That can make a big difference. Also instilling positive, spontaneous thinking into your mind. Many times people have excuses or reasons why they don't want to be spontaneous. I'm afraid of what other people are going to think if I wear the colors I want, if I talk a certain way or say what's on my mind. But think about the fact that you're a God-created individual with uniqueness. In Spanish, we have the word called don, which comes from the root don divino, or gift from God. So you might have a great talent. Maybe it's speaking, writing, teaching. Maybe it's working with your hands, being a caretaker, being a loving person, having a sense of humor. Whatever it is, use it to your fullest. Realize that your gifts are here to contribute to the world and to others, and you have a time to do that. Another problem people have with spontaneity is they say, I don't have time to be spontaneous. Well, what you can do is you can create a space for spontaneity. You can say, I'm going to have these 2 hours of the day just open for whatever comes to mind, or a half day, or even a full day. I may go somewhere, I may talk to people I haven't talked to in a while, and whatever comes to me that I want to do, I will do it if it's a positive experience. Or some people say, I have family, I have kids. I don't have time to be spontaneous. I don't have the opportunity. Well, first of all, you can include your kids in your spontaneity. Children are the most spontaneous creatures on earth. Play with them, throw a ball, play in the mud, the snow. Also consider getting a babysitter so you and your partner can go out and also be spontaneous. Take a dance class together. Take a day excursion. And remember that children often are happier when their parents are happy. So when they see you having your own time and having joyful experiences and a stronger marriage, that can also improve the life of your children. Or you might say, well, I'm too serious. I'm a serious person. I don't have time to be spontaneous and frivolous. But in reality, you can be both serious and spontaneous. You can be a responsible person and do your duties and be a mature person. But at the same time, you have time and energy for being fun-loving, for enjoying and trying new things, for experimenting in life. Or you might say, it costs money to be spontaneous. Well, it could be something very small, minor, like flying a kite in a park, hanging out at a new beach, or going to the library and reading some of your favorite books. So there are many ways to be spontaneous, and the key is that you want to be that way, that you decide, I want to bring that excitement and flexibility into my life. Another tip is to stop wasting time. Now, many times people spend a lot of time on their phone or internet, looking at social media or certain videos and things like that. Some of that can be entertaining, but if you spend a lot of your time doing that, you lose track of the important things. For example, things that are really crucial, like work duties and spending time with loved ones. And also, you need to leave yourself a window of spontaneity. So if you do the most important things first, you can say, well, I have now 2 or 3 hours to do whatever I want to do, to be spontaneous, to participate in a sport, activity, a hobby, spend time with people I care about. It could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours, but do your important work first, the things that need to be done, and then leave your window open for spontaneity. Also, another important thing is to put fear in the back seat of your mental car. Think of yourself as the driver in a car, that is your mind. And the fear is in the back because you can be useful at times. Sometimes we need fear as a warning. If you're going to touch a hot stove or walk into a crowded intersection, you want to have a little bit of fear to protect you for security purposes. But you don't want the fear to drive your mental car. You don't want to be in front. You want to be able to control your future and be spontaneous when you want to be. Think of life as an opportunity to learn things, to grow. Also follow your intuition in terms of to be spontaneous. Now, we talked before about the concept called the hara, which comes from the Eastern traditions, which is a point 2 inches below your navel, which is considered your gut instinct, your center of balance and power. So your hara, your intuition, is telling you, I want to go and try this new place. I want to meet this new person. I want to try this new experience, whether it's balloon riding, bungee jumping, going on a day excursion, learning a new language, a new hobby. I want to experience it because it's in my hara, it's in my intuition. So be open to spontaneous opportunities. Ask yourself, is this my chance to enjoy something or contribute to others? Maybe I'll volunteer for a nonprofit organization. Someone asks you for help, and you can give them that help. Or you want to invest in something, maybe real estate. And you've heard of people that said, I should have bought several years ago when the property prices were low, and look at it now. Maybe you have a hunch that you think, I should invest right now. And if you do your due diligence and research it, and then go by your gut, chances are you'll make a good investment. And this is one of my favorite techniques. It's called yes and, saying yes to life. There was a comedy that was very funny with Jim Carrey called Yes Man, in which he was a negative person. Then he went to a seminar and he learned how to say yes to things. He started to get into very interesting experiences. But many times we say no to things. We say no to opportunities in a reflexive way without realizing that there could be something wonderful there. One of the great exercises in improvisational acting is known as the yes and. So when you do a little interaction with someone in a spontaneous way, you can say the word yes and. So you can build a story or a scenario based on that. I want to try that with Reggie, my producer. Reggie, let's try something right now. I'm going to give you a little phrase, and I want you to add on to it by saying yes and. So Reggie, that red bottle reminds me of a genie that's coming to see you.
Red sheep.
But the sheep came to see you, and then they said, bah. What did you say back, Reggie?
Yes, and I said, good day to you, sir.
All right, Reggie, I don't know if we're being spontaneous or we're being a little bit out of the box, but that's kind of cool. Okay. So we can build on that. And, the more you do this, the stronger you will be in terms of your spontaneity muscles in a more creative way. And it's going to come to you and you come up with solutions. I do recommend anyone that wants to improve their spontaneity, and even if you're a little bit shy, is to take an improvisational acting class where you basically do skits and you do stuff that comes off the top of your head. You don't really have to rehearse things. It's a very fun way to improve your creativity. Another technique is to create what's called a spontaneity list, maybe on your iPad or your phone or even in a notepad. Write down a bunch of stuff that you've always wanted to do. Maybe it is going on a special trip somewhere or doing some outdoor activity, bungee jumping or parachuting, or, painting your face a certain color or your hair or meeting new people. Whatever it is that you thought about doing that you haven't done, write it on your list. It could be a small thing, maybe trying a new restaurant, a new kind of food. And then on a particular day, pull out your pad and then choose one of those things and actually go out and do it. Just be spontaneous. Decide this is your spontaneous day. Call up an old friend you haven't talked to in a long time, an old flame maybe, and figure out what can happen at this moment. And finally, associate yourself with spontaneous friends, people that have that zest for life, that like to be flexible and do things spur of the moment. Now, if you live with someone or even marry them, they can drive you a little bit crazy because they often want to change their plans. They're a little bit variable in what they want. But even if you have a partner that's like that, a romantic partner or a spouse, it can be very interesting if you learn how to respect their style and they respect yours. They can be a great complement. The structured person can help the spontaneous person be more organized, and the spontaneous person can help the structured person have more of that joy for life, the spontaneity, try different things, change around your schedule based on your feeling in the moment in a positive way. So this week, I want to give you guys a spontaneity challenge. I want you guys to think of 3 things that could be very interesting for you to do, you've never done before, or maybe you've done, it's been a while, that can be very spontaneous, and go out and do them. You don't need to think much about it, but just when the urge hits you, you want to try that new place you wanted to go to, a new outdoor activity, you want to invite some friends you haven't seen in a long time, whatever it is you want to do that. Take that challenge this week. In fact, Reggie, let's try something right now. Why don't you stand up for me right now, Reggie? And I want you to do something very spontaneous for me. You can sing, act, dance, or whatever, okay? So begin now.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Okay, he's doing jumping jacks. Reggie, I've never seen you act like that. This is good. I like that. Okay, I haven't seen. Reggie just sang and he jumping jacked and he's gone nuts today, but I like it. You know, it's a lot of fun. Also, Reggie, you're wearing a very cool shirt that says superheroes. And it has like different mental things based on that. Now, tell me what that means. I see something called fish fetish. What is that?
Okay, well, so I'm assuming you're talking about the one for Aquaman. That is it's suggesting that he has a unhealthy obsession with fishes.
I get that. Okay. And then I get over here, Mrs. Right Now. Is that Batman or what is that there in your shirt? So you have superheroes with different psychological issues.
Catwoman. I think it means that she's very impulsive, like impulsively so.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up, Reggie, because impulsivity is basically a destructive kind of behavior based on wanting short-term gains. So spontaneity is opposite to that, is more of a long-term experience because you want to grow and you want to do something good for yourself and have benefits. And also, who's a speed freak? You have something that one on your shirt.
Flash.
Oh, Flash. Okay. Okay. I like that, Reggie. So that's a very spontaneous. You're coming up with different ideas for superheroes. So again, I really encourage you guys to go out and be spontaneous this week and say you love someone that you love, or you might want to spend time with them in a romantic way, or a friend, or even your child, and do something you haven't done in a while. Search within yourself to find that joy and that enthusiasm for life, that spontaneity, and you're going to feel rewarded. You're going to feel that something has changed in your life. So again, Love University students, if anyone has any questions or comments or want to be on the show, you can write to us at lovetype4u@aol.com. That's LOVETYPE, the number 4, letter U at AOL. Call us at 310-226-8090. Visit us at loveuniversity.love. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And Love University students, to a spontaneous and loving week. Until next time, this is Dr. Alex Avila. Love University is now dismissed.